You hold one fear, and that fear is of who you could become and what you might achieve in your life. And that's the only fear that you have. And if you were to address that one and decide to move over it, you would have the life that you wanted to have. You would have everything. Now, I can say those things because I suffered from that fear as well. It's that fear of self-discovery, uncovering why we were born. What's our purpose? Because when we can move over that one, we live in a very different dimension and miraculous things begin to occur. And I'm saying this today because there's an alignment in the universe, and we can understand our consciousness is always being upgraded, so to speak, over time. And I received a message with that title on this day a year ago. So I'm going to read it to you because it'll make a lot more sense. And then I have a little bit more of a story to tell you. But this is the message, and it is you hold one fear. You might have believed you were plagued by many, but it is only one, and it is the same one most on the physical plane experience. And it is never what you have done or the mistakes you might think you have made. That one fear is who you can become. It never matters when you come to that realization, for you continually become more or evolve. You chose to be alive now to move beyond your false fears so you can live your desired life and contribute to your world, for every soul does so when they begin to honor their authentic self and bring their wisdom and knowledge to the world. It is only it has only been your interpretation of your particular fears that have held back your progress and that of your world. We gave you a message on this date in 2012, and as you study it now and apply it to your life and world, you will come to appreciate your importance and why moving beyond your imaginary fears will do wonders for your life and planet. All fear can be used for your benefit when you recognize and embrace its importance for showing up in your physical life experience. In other words, fear itself is not based on ultimate reality. Fear would indicate that it is possible for something to happen to your being or for you in some way to be harmed. Since you are an eternal spiritual being, the entire notion is false. Its purpose is to cause you to become more or expand. It would help if you first recognize the fear is not real and simply alert you and simply alert you to some area of your physical life experience where you desire more self-realization. As you contemplate this more, awareness shows up. Let me tell you a little story about that. We have things that are built into us, just programming. When I first began this work, it was challenging for me to believe what it was and what I was doing. Didn't know. None of us know that as we're living. And so I kind of doubted it. When I even put out my program 4 years ago, I go, what's going to happen with it? I said, wait a minute, I'm 73 years old and I've used this work and it's completely transformed my life. What's it going to do for others? And then that January 2022, though, I started seeing the results and I go, oh crap, something happened. And then I started to understand, well, of course it would happen because that's how we evolve. Some of us learn things and we gather information and we give it back to others. That's what I've done. We all do the same thing. But trusting that and believing it is really the dilemma that we all have. And so I got up this morning and I saw an email from one of the members of my program. And I'm thinking, oh no, is it something bad? Did he not like it? Is he not doing what's going on? That was that trigger, that thing that came up. It wasn't that at all. He said, can I have more time? I haven't finished everything yet. See, because in the beginning I called it I still called it 4 weeks to your best life and all of that. That's not realistic. You don't change your life in 4 weeks, but that's what I used. But I told him, no, you're going to have it forever because it keeps working over and over again. And I said, and additionally, I haven't finished it. I haven't put in all the work that I have done for these 35 years of receiving information and using it to transform. So no, it's not done. And then I was thinking, yesterday I was thought maybe I should do a couple more presentations to explain what this is. I go, no, I'm not going to do that because that's not going to cause people to decide to act and move beyond their fear. I know that because I've lived it. That's why I wrote the book on fear in 2019, Overcoming Fear, A Guide to Freedom, because that is what happens. But there's still things that we will move through. I'm still moving through it because it was difficult for me to believe this even happened. Yesterday, I also shared a video of a show I was doing as a cable TV show I was doing in 1989 with my good friend who was an astrologer. And he's telling me all these things about myself, and I'm looking at that. I was 38 then. It was, and I looked at myself and I thought, wow, you look better than you thought. See, that's the judgment that we had on ourselves. I'm looking at myself then, and I go, I know I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel that I looked good, but I'm looking at that and go, wow, that's an okay looking guy. But my programming had told me something different. That's all that happens for any of us. We were born to be exactly who we are, to become our authentic selves. There's value in every single person. And see, I've known that forever. At the end of the interview, and I'm going to put some of this stuff, I'm going to, because it's kind of funny to see it. He's asking me about, well, and he told me at that time I was doing vocal coaching. He says, well, you could be a healer and a teacher and all of these things. Well, yeah, I was told that. But accepting it, that was another story. And then to see the results, because you can hear it if you listen to any of the videos. I mean, I'll put it at the end though. I'd love for you to hear what these some of these people, because this was a couple of years ago. You'll hear some of it, but still, it's this consciousness that we have to break through and then start to own who we are. But now I have no choice. I'm saying that because I've hidden out for a long time. We all do that. You hide from yourself because there's something that you could do that's in that unknown that you may not be willing to embrace yet. So this is why I tell yes, take your time. Because you're moving through generational programming that told you you couldn't do something or who you weren't enough or whatever it might have been. And we also have societal programming, meaning what the collective consciousness thinks about what is possible or available. And I've done so many things that were impossible, thought to be. And that's the thing I want to break down. There is nothing. The healing, the physical healing that has gone on, because when you hear that if you come into alignment with who you are, maybe that healing can take place. I'm a testament to that because it's happened. I can't say everyone's going to do that because you have a different soul path, but I know what is possible. So I'm not going to do those presentations. I've got to get back to doing the work. Another thing happened. I had posted something. I said I have to write the book now. Your life operating instructions, because it's a philosophy, and I want to leave it. I'm not going to live forever, so I need to leave it. And so my high school friend made a comment on LinkedIn saying, I'll be really looking for that book, Roger. I go, oh, crap. And I said that. Now I'm going to have to do it. See, that's why my work works, because you become accountable to yourself. You stop avoiding who you are, and that's what's so really incredible. If I'm because in the book I must tell you all of the things that I've moved through because I want people to understand what is possible. It doesn't make sense that my life would have turned out the way that it has, but I want everyone to know that your life can turn out exactly how you want it to be. You can create something, you can contribute because it's in your DNA. We just have to move through the generational programming. That's all. And so I said, and I'm just talking about this openly. I've been doing this for so long, and for the longest time, I said I have to change things now. But now, what I'm doing, I said I'm only taking in the next 10 people because I want to put in all this information. Because if I leave something to the world that gives you the ability to continually ascend, to continually evolve, because that's what we do. We're never done with that. And if you can do that and you have something you use forever, maybe you'll stop spending thousands of dollars running around to get something else to try to fix yourself because it's always within you. I know this. I've seen it and I've experienced it. When I first started working on this program in, I think it was 2016, one of my assistant then, he was saying, Roger, you can't say these things because it's not peer reviewed. How do people know that this is going to work? Well, it's been peer reviewed now by me to tell you, and then you hear all the others of what they've been able to accomplish. The same will be true for you. You just have to be willing to address your one fear, and that is of becoming yourself. See you soon.
I was really, really blessed to be one of the first wave of people to do the development course with Roger. And it was really eye-opening. I did it at the same time that I was receiving hypnotherapy. I had a couple of really big issues that I wasn't able to overcome. I mean, I'm 47 now, so I was 45 when I first started it. One was an event, and another was a pattern that I kept following time after time after time. I couldn't get through these issues. I went through 3 lots of counselling at different times of my life, NLP, cognitive behavioural therapy, mindfulness, meditation. I just couldn't get past these things. One of them, it was because the event was just really too painful for me to face properly. I never really faced it properly. And the second one, the pattern, was because I just didn't understand why I had this pattern. So the program really helped me to get through that first event and to really face it. With the different exercises that you do, it leads you up to that place. I knew that I was working up to it. And so when it came, it was difficult and it was challenging, but it wasn't as overwhelming as it had been for the whole of my life, like 35 years. So I had 35 years of this massive, massive pain that I just couldn't work through. With the program, I was able to face it, to work through it, and to come to terms with it, to accept what had happened. Not accept it because it was okay, but accept it in a way that was allowed me to move forward and not feel such overwhelming pain. And with time, like everything else, it just becomes easier. So it's still there, but it's not taking over my life anymore. It's not blocking me. So since that, I've been able to build a second business, build my first business as well, help other people even more than I was, because I'm a coach as well. I'm a voice coach. And so I've been able to help other people even more. Then with the pattern, still went through the pattern a couple of times. Anyone who's doing this is bound to be working on doing some other kind of personal development. When you integrate it, it just gives it another edge and a different angle and a different dynamic. And so you have all of these different things to pick from that work for you. It's really about you using what you need at different times. So it was really, really amazing for me. I really can't stress how much.
Every day in the course sort of makes you reflect on yourself, the lessons that Roger sort of learned throughout his life and what he's channeled through his will and what he calls like his spirit, basically. It sort of forces you to do a lot of self-reflection, look at yourself in a different way. And one of the main things that I gained from the program was I thought that my past was all bad. I thought I was having like such a bad experience here. One of the days I remember was going back and rewriting everything that we thought was bad in our past experience and then extracting at least something good out of it. Realize that you can do that with anything. You would sort of have to become and really look at yourself in a new light, which would be more aligned with your more authentic self.
I've just been regularly for the last 10 weeks and the progress is just amazing. Like you can see changes from week to week. You know, Roger always says, when the time is right, it will happen. So you put yourself in that place to allow it to happen. But also the people that coming into Roger's program, the energy of everyone together is greater than the sum of the parts. For example, last week there was a feedback session and myself and another lady was on with Roger, and she's an energy healer. So she and I have made contact now, and she's working with myself and my daughter who's got anorexia. It's also about how Roger is creating a whole network of people who support each other and make the sum of the parts greater than each individual would be by themselves.
Roger helped me a lot with singing, but also with healing my voice. I was having vocal damage. I had a cyst. I couldn't speak. I couldn't coach. I thought my career was going to end. And I was trying all kind of stuff, techniques over the internet, YouTube, whatever. Nothing seemed to work. From the first lesson, I knew that this is going to heal me. My voice really, really got better. It didn't help me just with my health. It also gave me something that I never thought was possible. Over the years that I've been working, I felt that he was changing my life, changing the way I am. Before, I was kind of angry. I was frustrated, and I didn't realize that. It was just because I was trying to chase my dream, and instead of getting better, I was getting worse. And I felt I was losing everything, that maybe I picked the wrong way. Now I feel that my life is starting over, and everything is better. I mean, every single aspect of my life, my confidence, my income is important, that also, because he gave me something so valuable. That I can share now, and I can change people around here. I can heal other people here. You really have to be honest with yourself. There's no point doing it if you're not going to go full in. And when I started it, I was like, I'm going to go all in. I jumped in with both feet. If I frame it in terms of building the confidence to face things that I find difficult, to face pain, I've always avoided conflict and to confront things and people. I think it's probably given me the confidence to do that, because some of the exercises that you do really take you through being able to confront things fully. Whereas before I would just kind of go, oh yeah, I'm going to try and work through this problem, and then not really do it, just kind of halfway through the door. Whereas now I'm like, okay, because I've done that, now I know that I can do this.
I really just wanted to better myself, really. I really thought that there was something wrong, to be honest. Like, going through the program, it sort of just reveals to yourself that, we're all human and we all have these thoughts and negative feelings and emotions. It's really just about feeling them through and then coming through out the other end with something positive. Then from that point, you can move on and do better things from there.
I know I was born with this desire to be a singer, but I only had the desire, not the talent. I'm sure that nobody else could help me the way he helped me. Now I'm starting my career, and now I get the chance to be like this. That's all because Roger helped me. The way that Roger sets the exercises up and the questions that he asks and the exercises that you do, they are really deep. You do have to really question yourself. Anyone who's thinking of doing this, take the opportunity, because I've done so much work and I haven't done anything like this. There hasn't been anything like this. And I think even if I'd been doing the hypnotherapy without this program, I still wouldn't have gone as deep. I still wouldn't have faced those big issues that I've been facing my whole life.
Just going through the course and doing all the different practices and all that, it's really made me more comfortable putting myself out there and not really being afraid of other people's perspectives of me. It's made me much more comfortable with who I am. It's allowed me to get to know myself a whole lot more. Before the program, I realized how much I didn't really know myself as much, and really just having to reflect and doing this work on yourself just revealed a lot to me.
Yeah. And that's one of the big things that Roger brings to the forefront of your consciousness, is that everything has a purpose, and you need to turn your mindset around that the challenges aren't bad, but they're good to help you get where you need to go.
I was like, I was mid-40s, sick and tired of having the same rubbish going on that I knew I was creating because I wasn't facing what I needed to face. Because there's other things that I want to do.
Definitely, I would say it's increased the confidence that I've had in myself and putting myself out there, and also just being able to do more what I feel is right for myself, instead of just feeling like I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. We're always in the right place at the right time, really, and we just have to recognize where we are.
There's no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason, and it really does seem to. Somehow you're in the right place at the right time, and Roger is part of the catalyst for making that happen. He kind of shows that no matter what your age is or where you're at, there's still more you can do.
Thank you so much to Roger. He's been an inspiration for me. I'm so grateful, because he's an amazing guy, and he's just so giving. I'm getting emotional. He's just so giving and loving. It rubs off.
I don't think he realizes how much he touches people and the influence that he has on people's lives, and all the little things that accumulate and you don't even realize the change is happening. And then suddenly you wake up one day and go, oh, wow, look where I am now compared with where I was, 6 months ago.
Since I started working with Roger, everything changed in my life. Everything, every single thing. I get to get auditions, I get to get clients, I get to get everything. The way I am, the way I changed. I always tell him that, Roger, you saved my life. It's not just my voice. He just saved my life.
He's very much someone I admire as a role model. He'd made a big difference in my life.
If you've got an opportunity to work with Roger, just take it. Whatever it is, just take it.
Are you ready to transform your life too? Your last development program, Life Transformation for Success, the newest part of Roger Burnley's coaching series. It's the last personal development program you will ever need. Learn more at yourlastdevelopmentprogram.com today.